Hey guys, with the Springboks getting 2 bonus point wins in Australia and Razzie naming his 37-man squad to face off against the All Blacks, I thought what better time than now to give you guys my 23-man squad to face off against the All Blacks in South Africa. Before we do this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and let me know in the comment section below your 23-man squad to face off against the All Blacks. And also let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my selection here as well. So let me know in the comment section below. Let's just dive straight into this. So as you can see right here, guys, for the front row I've selected, I've gone with Oxton Che at number 1, then Bongi Mnombi at number 2, and Frans Malherbe at the number 3 spot. I think this is the best front row I believe the Boks can go with. I think these three were pretty impressive, I'd say, within Australia. Again, with Bongi Mnombi, he only played 15 minutes, so to be fair, he actually didn't get a lot of game time, like when you think about it, because he had to kind of go off for, I believe, an injury that he kind of picked up. I'm not sure if it's concussion or if it's just an injury, but he had to go off in the opening, 15 minutes, and Malcolm Marx had to replace him for the remainder, and he wasn't a part of the second test. So he's one which, out of all the players I've set in that front row, played the least amount of minutes. But with Oxton Che and Frans Malherbe, I thought those two were pretty good. You know, it's the exact same front row we had within the opening test. They smashed out of the park in that one. And then with the second one, Frans Malherbe did get rested, so I do expect him to be available for this opening test against the All Blacks. And yeah, Oxton Che just did brilliant work in terms of that kind of scrimmaging role. So that's the front row I want to have against the All Blacks in this first test against them. For the locks I've selected, I've gone the likes of Evan Smith at the number 4 spot and RJ Snyman at the number 5. I believe this is the best combination the Boks can go with. You know, with the limited lock selection we have currently, you know, we're kind of putting a bit of a pickle at the moment, just really with the locks that we can go with. And I think this is just flat out the best combination that we can see. You know, Evan Smith, you know, he was great. You know, he was great within Australia. He did his job perfectly, no mistakes from him. And yeah, RJ Snyman, just on the opposite end, didn't get to play any of the games actually in Australia just because he picked up a foot injury, unfortunately. So he wasn't available kind of to get any minutes. But I feel like when you have a player like RJ Snyman and it's just his quality, you just got to put him straight into that starting lineup. And that's exactly the reason why I've done it. For the loose forwards I've selected then, this is where I've gone with the likes of Sia Khaleesi at number 6, then Peter Septitoy at number 7, and to finish it off, Jasper Wiese at the number 8 spot. I believe this is the best loose forward combination the Springboks can go with. You know, Khaleesi, captain of the Boks, he's not going anywhere, and he was brilliant in that opening test, scored the opening try at the Rugby Championship. So, yeah, he definitely gets in for me. Peter Septitoy, I think he's been the best player so far in this Rugby Championship. He was brilliant within that first test. You know, he did cover, of course, for RJ Snyman when he got injured, a kind of last-minute injury to him. So it meant that he had to go fill in that 5 spots and Ben Jason Dixon fill in the 7. But he was brilliant in that. Even got a try for himself in the opening test as well. And, of course, he did play 7 in that second one. So I think overall he's been outstanding for the Boks, and I think the best player so far in the Rugby Championship. So he gets in number 7. And then, yeah, Jasper Wiese, the return of Jasper Wiese, following his suspension. He is available for selection, and I think Razzie will do the same. I think he will go with him, and I personally want to see him involved. So that's the reason why I've set him at the number 8 spot. For the backs, I've then gone with the combination of Jaden Hendrikse and Andre Pollard as my 9-10 combination. I believe this is one which we haven't seen so far throughout the Rugby Championship. You know, Jaden Hendrikse, you know, he hasn't been involved within this Rugby Championship, but I believe he definitely has the quality to kind of just impact the side off the back. And again, when you're comparing him to the other scrum masters that we have available with Kobus Reinach as well as Grant Williams, I do believe Jaden Hendrikse is the best option out of the bunch. So that's the reason why I have selected him there. And his box kicking is very good. So that's another reason why. And then, yeah, with Andre Pollard, again, it's not really more on Andre Pollard being selected. It's more on Sasha being kind of cut from his starting 15, which is a big call to make because you could put him at 15 if you wanted to, but he has been playing 10 for the Boks in both fixtures, and he was outstanding, particularly in that opening test. And man, it's a tough decision, but I just think Andre Pollard is more suited to play against the likes of the All Blacks than Sasha, like right now. But at the same time, I would love to see Sasha get that 10 spot. But I'm just going for what I want, like overall. Like if I had to think of who can I trust kind of to win the game, like just right off the back, I'm going to say Andre Pollard. And again, you know, his kicking off the tee is just, you know, there's no one really like him when it comes to that. So I'm going to go with Andre Pollard in that 10 spot. For the centers, I think this is the easiest selection really for me. I've gone with Damien Delande at the 12 and Jesse Krill at number 13. You know, Damien Delande was great within that, you know, within the opening test. And again, he was rested in the second. So that's another reason why I kind of expect him to start in this opening test against the All Blacks. And yeah, with Jesse Krill, he played a part in both tests. You know, he was great in that opening test, got that really well-worked assist towards Curly Lorenza, and that kind of set them up really nicely. And then, yeah, in that second test, he did play 13 again with the likes of Lukanyuam there, and that actually worked out pretty nicely. So, I don't know. Yeah, Rassie may go with Lukanyuam, and don't get me wrong, I love Lukanyuam, guys. Love him to bits. But I just think, what do I want against the All Blacks? I just want certainty. And for right now, I just think Damien Delende and Jesse Krill is the best combination in the world. So that's why I've selected them at 12 and 13. The back three then, I've gone the likes of Curly Lorenza, the number 11, then Chesson Kobe, number 14, and finishing off Will LaRue at number 15. I just think that's the best back three that the Boks can go with. You know, Curly Lorenza, great in the opening test, scored 2 tries to his name, rested in the second, so he definitely has, you know, he's fit enough, obviously, to play for this opening test. Chesson Kobe, a part of both tests. I think the first test, he wasn't too much involved. We didn't see too much of him. But in the second test, it was much clearer that we kind of saw him more involved, a lot more running meters in this game. And again, on the high ball, he's just great in that area. So, yeah, that's the reason why I've kept him in at number 14. Willie LaRue, this is where it was more of a judgment call because I was really considering Sasha if I wanted to kind of put him in the starting lineup. But you can't really replace him at this time unless Damien Williamson is available. And that's where you can have a conversation. But for now, Will LaRue is still my 15. And I think he was great in that opening test. Again, barring that one kind of pass he could have made. To be fair, now that I've looked back at it, it's probably the right decision to go for it because the player was kind of lagging behind a bit. So it would have been a really backwards pass if he had to do it. So, but no, I think Will LaRue, his IQ is just off the charts. And you want to have a player like that in your number 15. So, yeah, he's in number 15 for this game. So, yeah, that's kind of it, really, with that kind of starting 15. With a bench, this is where it gets a bit more tricky because you can go either direction with a 7-1, 6-2, or even 5-3. You know, we did see a 5-3 for the first time in a very long time in that second test. And with the situation with the locks, I think this is what makes it difficult to kind of go with a 7-1 because there's not a lot of locking options. So I'll be very surprised if the Boks select a 7-1. So it's really between 6-2 and 5-3. And I feel the Boks will want to go for a 6-2 more, and that's kind of what I want the Boks to do, really. I mean, like, again, there is a player who, which I will talk about very shortly, who's unfortunately missed out, but I have gone with a 6-2 in my scenario. So here is the bench right here, and I have gone the likes of Malcolm Marks as the replacement hooker, then Stephen Kitsoff to come off the bench. Again, he is available now, so that's the reason why he's coming off the bench for this one. Then I've gone Vincent Koch there then as the tight head replacement. Then I've gone with Ruhan Norte as the lock replacement because he had a bit of a concussion, I believe, in that second test that he picked up. So there's a bit of uncertainty around him if he'll be available. So I've gone with Ruhan Norte to come off the bench. So it'll be a big game for him. We'll have to see what happens there. And then, yeah, then gone with Michael van Staden, Quagga Smith to kind of finish off that kind of 6 forwards. And then, yeah, with the 2 backs I've selected, this is where I've gone with Grant Williams as well as Sasha Feinberg in Gumuzulu. I think those 2 are just the 2 certainties when it comes to a 6-2 split, just because they cover so many positions. You know, with Grant, he covers, you know, scrum half and wing, whereas with Sasha, he can cover, you know, 10, 15, and if needed, he can cover that 12 spot. But, of course, if he were to come in, then you would probably have, like, Hollander maybe move towards the 12, take off Damien Delende, and then, you know, he can go in the 10 if needed, or if you want to, you can just put him in the 15 spot and kind of just switch things around. But no, look, it's a good bench. I'm happy with the bench, but I think the one player that I really wanted to add into the side was Kaden Moody because he is available for selection, and that's where I would have gone maybe with a 5-3. You can't really replace Jesse Krill at the moment. I just think give Jesse Krill the first test and then see what happens from there. If it doesn't pan out the way the Boks want it, then I'd maybe advise to go for the switch of Kaden Moody just because he offers something different to what Lukanyuam would have offered as well as Jesse Krill. So I would suggest going with Kaden Moody, but for now, I want to stick with Jesse Krill there because he's just been brilliant. So why not just stick with him? And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that bench overall. And yeah, that's a 23-man squad there, guys. Let me know what your thoughts on my 23-man squad. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I want to see your 23-man squad in the comments below. So let me see. Besides that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, see you guys next time.